Welcome everybody to our weekly team call. My name is Chelsea Gonzalez. I'm an integrated regional director, and normally my husband's here with me, but he's not tonight. And I wanted to first go over a few things real quick, just some housekeeping items. Since this might be your first time on the call, if you mute yourself, we'll get a clean recording for those that aren't able to listen in live, but we want this to be very interactive. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions, give feedback, or comment as we go through the call. I also wanted to let you know we have a lot of events coming up here. First thing is this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. we're going to be at Everett Community College, and Julie will be hosting our presentation. The first hour and a half is very specifically just for you to bring people to hear about our program and our health coaching opportunity. And then after that, it's health coach training for those that are local. I also want to let you know that these are going to continue all through next year. So usually the second Saturday of the month, we'll be doing the same event in the same room, Jackson Room 106 at Everett Community College. But here's the dates for 2015. January 17th, February 14th, March 14th, April 11th, May 9th, June 13th, July 18th, August 8th, September 12th, October 17th, November 14th, and December 12th. And all these dates are posted in the Facebook group page if you didn't catch that all. So I want to let you know about that. We're keeping things real consistent. And then really, really exciting, Dr. Anderson's going to be in Portland January 9th and 10th. So the 10th is just like our events at Everett Community College. The first beginning part is the program presentation and coach presentation, and then it goes right into health coach training. If you're an executive director or above, there's also an additional training, so get with your health coach about that. And right after, this is really exciting, right after that event, it ends at 4 o'clock, there's an after party that's being hosted by our presidential director, Terry and David Miller. So again, get with your health coach if you're not sure where that is or how to get there, but we're all carpooling down. So if you're not local in Portland, check it out. If you're from anywhere else in the country, there's other super regionals, and those dates are also posted in Coach Connection. So I think that's all Julie wanted me to cover, and let me welcome her. Here's Judy, our global director.
Hi, everybody. How are you tonight? Super excited about what's going on in Take Shape for Life, and excited to be here with you guys tonight. You know, this call is for you to form our community local here and across the nation. How cool is it that we have a business that you just need a cell phone and a computer and you're in business, and we can be a community clear across the nation. And we've got coaches and clients all over the place, and it really is special since we have this Zoom to be able to see each other face to face. You know, Melinda, when you jumped on, I was like, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, and it feels like we're together. So if you're listening to this recording, we'd love to have you join us live sometime so that you can be on here. But otherwise, just to be able to know that there's all of us out here in this community of health coaches that are in the trenches. We're doing it with you, and we're here to answer your questions, support you, and we are your direct line of sponsorship, so we're here to help. So with that, we're going to start the call today with a couple little things that kind of go on the theme of where we're at right now. And we're at December 10th, which is my son's birthday today. He's 27. I can't believe it. I must have had him when I was 3. Anyway, so we're only about a week and a half into December. Take Shape for Life, this is my 5th season of holidays now. And what I've noticed is that right now is the time when you're going to functions, you're meeting people, you're reaching out to people, and you're also seeing friends and family that you haven't seen for a while, or making it a point. I know we do. We make it a point to reach out to our friends and say, hey, when can we get together over the holidays? And so there's a lot more gatherings happening. And, you know, with the coaching side of it, a lot of us are going through and coaching our clients through that, what you're going to do during those gatherings to make healthy habits. But what I want to talk tonight about is what you're going to do in your healthy habits of, as a coach, reaching out to clients and pre-coaches, reaching out to pre-clients and pre-coaches. Sometimes we get caught up in what we want our desired outcome to be. And what that is, of course, is offering hope and help to everyone and having them ultimately sign up as a client and a coach so that they can have what we have. I mean, it's changed my life forever. This has just been such an amazing ride. You know, I lost my weight 5 years ago, kept it off, but more importantly, my whole life is changed because I have this life, I call it my life vest of hope and health, because if I did not have that solid foundation of Take Shape for Life in my life, I could easily let myself spin out of control, get off track. You know, nobody's perfect, and we're all going to have bumps in the road and go, you know, I know a lot of times I go, well, I could have done that better, or I could have made a better choice that time. We're never going to be perfect, but what we are is learning how to be mindful and aware of what we're doing, and be able to have small incremental growth and become better, and in that inspiring other people. So where I'm going with this is when you're out here talking to people and meeting with people, whether you know them, you're just meeting them, you're at an event, those kind of things, it's kind of a stop, challenge, choose thing. Make a awareness set in before you get there. I know sometimes I have to set myself straight so that I'm not offering so boldly. You know, I'm so excited about it that I just, you know, how about now? How about now? How about now? Or, oh my gosh, what do you do? Okay, yeah, but let me tell you what I do. And if we can just relax and realize that the sincerity, the friendship, the kindness, and the caring is what we're doing. And to attract the quality people, think about this. The clients that you're attracting are going to turn into coaches. So what do you want your community to look like? Okay, so think about that. When you're offering this to people, are you spending the time to have a quality relationship with someone who is successful? That it's a lot more work that way. You're gonna have, you know, invite them over for dinner. You're gonna get to know them. You're gonna build a friendship. You're gonna find out what's important to them. You're not gonna have an attachment to whether or not they join Take Shape for Life or not. Clearly, you ultimately would, you know, there's a match somewhere, but it may not be a match for 2 years. But what it can be is you attracting really quality people into your life, and then meeting their friends and attracting them. And if people know what you do and know that you care, they will come to you when they're ready. You just have to stay in front of them. There's that saying, you know, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The quality people are going to see right through you if you are trying to get them as a client or a coach. So by really truly asking people how they are and not waiting for them to stop talking, but really asking them how they are, and then layering just, you know, cards and notes and how's it going? You know, and then if you've got enough of that going on, you're going to be able to have that relationship with them where you can invite them to an event, or you can, you know, mention that, you know, hey, I'd love for you to, you know, hear this doctor's call that I found really interesting, or send them a link to something, that the ebook, things like that. That's just part of them knowing what you do for a living. But the caring has to come first. And the caring has to be without attachment to the outcome. So Chelsea, do you want to comment a little bit on that? I know that you're really, really schooled on that, on making sure that we're sincere in when we're talking to people. And trust me, you guys, I have to check myself back too, because I get so excited. And I have to remember that what I'm doing is making friends, and those friends will know what I do. Just like if I have a hairdresser friend, I know that she's a hairdresser. If I need my hair cut, I'm going to go to her because she's my friend. Chelsea?
I really like that a lot of the things you said, because when I think back to before I found out about Take Shape for Life, my mom introduced this to me, and it was with great reluctance that I even looked into it. So if somebody that was not that close to me were to come at me, like sometimes I've come at people because I know how good it is now, I get it. We have to really recognize where they're at and be with them where they're at. Because if I were to come on way too strong, like my mom did a little bit with me, which she's my mom, so it's a little different, all I'm going to do is push them away and delay that process of them being ready. And Dr. Anderson talks about the pre-contemplative state where they just aren't ready and the big wall is up, and then the contemplative state where they're starting to ask a little more questions. Maybe they're inquiring. And sometimes what happens is they don't even ask me. They ask a friend of a friend about me, and I'll hear about it. And so I know they're in that contemplative state. And then there's the next state, and I can't remember there's 5 states, but when they're in that pre-contemplative or contemplative state, I know that they're not there yet. And that's okay, because my there yet took a while. And Matt's took even longer. So Melinda has something to add, I think. Unmute yourself there, Melinda.
No, I had a quick question. If I have somebody on program and she's posting on Facebook, and she's been told to, private message me, her aunt, and I've gotten people, but then it's not like I can meet them for coffee because they're in North Carolina. So how do you respond via Facebook to people asking questions? How do you relationship build?
Well, I can totally relate to that, because I used to abuse Facebook a little bit. It would be fair to say. And so now I'm clearly making sure that I have a handle on asking them, I don't know if you even qualify to benefit from this program. So let's jump on the phone for a quick chat. I'll do a small interview and see if this is a match for you. And then if they ask more questions, I just simply, and this is God's honest truth, I don't know what program would work for you, because I haven't asked you enough questions yet. So when can we jump on the phone real quick? You can text me, email me. That's when I'm going to ask them enough questions to start building that trust, right? Because I want it to be their idea. I'm not going to talk them into it. So when I start asking questions like, what does optimal health mean to you? What would your life look like? How would that affect the people in your life? Are there some things maybe you've given up on that you'd love to do again? What part of the trilogy do you see yourself struggling or wanting to improve in? Body, mind, finances, what does that look like?
And if they don't respond to the first question, do you just let them go?
If they don't respond to what question?
If they don't respond to, well, let's chat, or let's, you say what you first said, you're not sure if it's a match for them. But if they don't respond to that, do you just back off completely and don't do anything?
Well, I may check back in with them in a week or so and say, hey, I didn't hear back from you. Would love to answer your questions. And
okay.
Then, if still nothing, they're not ready.
Right.
And so, I'll still invite them to things, and they can see what you're doing. And, maybe the friend wanted it more for them than they wanted it. Is sometimes what I've found in my travels is that's usually the case if the referral doesn't get back to you.
Okay.
So, and
Thanks.
you know, and bless her heart, she wants it for that person.
Well, these are the actual the friends of the person on the program asking, "What are you doing?" And then sending me a private message saying, "Can you tell me more?" But if I say, "Well, let's chat about this. Let's get on the phone. Do you have a minute?" Then a few times I haven't heard back.
Can I jump in about Facebook real quick?
Please do.
Jeff and Erin Lucian did a training maybe a year ago with us, and they are a lot like me. We make a lot of connections on Facebook. Not everybody uses Facebook in their business, and that's okay, but I do. And what Jeff said totally resonated with me, and it's worked since I heard him say this. If they don't respond and they keep asking you to answer questions over Facebook, you gotta cut it loose, because you will waste a lot of time on Facebook by trying to answer their millions of questions. So we really, just like when we're on a phone, you have to take control of the call and ask a question. Sometimes I'll ask a couple questions to just get a feel for what they are doing right now on Facebook. But as soon as it starts to get into it, I say, hey, this is going to take a little bit more than Facebook. So, does tomorrow or Friday work for you better when you have about 15 minutes on the phone?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's better. That's clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
thank you.
Yeah. And is there any other questions in regards to what we were just talking about, building relationships and the fine line between, making a friend and oversharing, or making it about, I'm talking to you because of Take Shape for Life?
Would you unmute Sheila? Because I think that she got muted, and I can't unmute her in case she has a question. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I muted.
Oh, okay.
She muted on purpose?
Got it.
Yeah.
Just checking. I didn't know.
Did you have a
line,
Sheila?
really important, and so I'm used to just muting myself. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, good. Okay.
So with that, let's just move right on into where you're meeting people, who you're talking to over the holiday season. What's some of the verbiage that you could be using in making friends with people and or creating interest? So the first thing is, there's so many different scenarios over the course of the holiday season. I know that I'm going to quite a few chamber events. I'm going to some dinner parties, things like that. And so what I'm making sure that I'm doing is never, ever, ever leading with Take Shape for Life, never making the conversation about me, and doing the art of asking questions. And so when I ask somebody how they are, I'm really going to stop and listen to how they are and try to picture it in my head of what their life looks like, and asking them, so 2015, it's going to be great. What's your exciting plans? Do you have any goals? Things like that you can get into later on in the conversation once you've asked them about themselves. Now, different scenarios, it could be somebody that you, say if it's somebody you know. What have you been doing? You're going to ask a little bit more about the past because you want to catch up, right? And then of course they're going to ask you about your life. And sometimes I get I got to check myself back. I cannot lead my life right out of the gate with, well, I'm so excited to be a Take Shape for Life health coach, blah, blah, blah. I need to be, really be authentic, the things that are important to me. Yes, Take Shape for Life is right up there in top 5. But there's also, my kids, my grandkids, my family, travel, my friends, the things that I love to do, the habits of health that I've put in place to keep me in check, things like that are little things without telling them about Take Shape for Life. Like I did this the other day in Zumba. Afterwards, the gals were asking me, so what is a health coach? Are you like personal trainer and all that? And I just simply went straight to, I'm helping people manage their complete wellness. And, that looks a lot like stress management and sleep and how you move your body like we're doing. And, going around, it's not all about the meal replacements. So, somebody said on one of the calls, I can't remember which one, that, she's offering all those things because now we are an optimal health company. Did you know that you can jump on the dashboard and your Fitbit will sync with the Take Shape for Life dashboard, where you can log your food, your water, your that, and this, and now your Fitbit will log in all its information. And how cool is that we really are becoming a complete wellness company? So if you're modeling who you are in what's working for you and your habits of health, how you're managing your health, making it about that as part of your story, instead of shoving the 5-in-1 plan down people's throat or saying, yeah, you should do this and you should do that. It's going to really create a sense of they know you don't want anything from them. You're just making friends. And the rest comes naturally. Chelsea, you want to add to that?
One of the things that you mentioned about this is an optimal health company. So we checked in with all of our inactive and monthly clients yesterday. Most of them were over text, and what I sent was very intentional. I asked them, how have you been doing lately? Because I want to know. Mm-hmm. Did you reach the health goals you had this year in 2014? What are you thinking are your health goals for 2015? And then if they were local, of course, I invited them to Saturday. But what has happened with those texts, we had a lot of responses from our inactive clients because people are thinking about next year. And instead of talking about the 5-in-1, they said, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. I said, okay, well, how do you think you're going to get there? Some people said, well, I'm not going to do MetaFast until January. I said, great. What healthy habits are you going to practice to maintain your weight until then? So I'm not, even with clients, it's not just about pre-clients, but helping clients understand this is not just about the 5-in-1. Yes, it's a fantastic tool. It will help you get to your healthy weight. But this is more about healthy habits and the learning that goes on with it and the mind shift that has to happen. And I've been getting really fantastic responses from asking questions versus telling them what to do.
So, and with that said, where we're finding people, who we're talking to, when I talked about intentionally surrounding yourself with quality people, it's all about making are you intentional or are you intention? So are you being intentional, or are you doing it just because you're tense because you want more clients? So in the holiday season, especially, people are laid back. They're stressed already. A lot of people get super stressed around the holidays. Be the lighthouse that people want of just pure kindness, calmness, the peace that passes understanding. Be the one that understands, and that will bring peace to you, and that will inspire other people to trust you and know that you are the real deal. So we're going to have a really super exciting training and presentation on Saturday, and everyone that comes is welcome to come to the social afterwards. I know that we've got a few pre-coaches coming, and they are absolutely welcome to come to the holiday gathering. We're having it at the Woodfire Grill immediately following the training. And there'll be a $15 gift exchange. That's a super fun part. You can tell a lot about people when you start doing a gift exchange, how competitive they are and stuff like that. It's super fun. But ending with, notice people's personalities. There's 4 different kinds of personalities, and we haven't trained on this in a while. But the reason we do train on that is because there's a driver, which is a person who's competitive and really on it and wants to go fast. There's inspirational, where the person is really boisterous and has a zillion friends, and they're the life of the party, but they're probably pretty unorganized. And then there's a friend person who is just the lover, and they tend to enable people instead of empower people, but they're just a love, and those will always make the best health coaches. However, they tend to overdo it and get caught up in not empowering people but enabling. And then there's the analytical person who wants the facts and the numbers and this and that. And if you can identify when you're talking to someone what style of behavior they are, most of the time, most of us are a combination of 2. One that's you're mostly, but you have kind of a side dish of another one. And if you can identify that and you can match their personality, if they're talking really serious and they want to know facts and everything, you're going to give them, you want to talk more in that style. Because if you came at them, oh my God, you're going to love them, blah, 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 they're going to just glaze over and not take you seriously. It goes along with all the styles of personality. You just kind of want to match where they're going. If they're talking slow, match how they're talking. If they're excited, get excited. Those kind of things. That will help you in interacting with different types of people. That's just a scratch of the surface. But I did want to throw that in there just so that you can know. It's kind of fun to kind of sit back and watch people and notice what style they are, and then kind of match that, and it helps them get to know you better. It's not that you're being anything different than you are. It's that you are respecting who they are, and it helps you to listen better and ask more questions, and that will help you build relationships long term. So with that, we're coming up on the hour, but I'd love to have some interaction here with any questions or comments anybody has. Could you just, anyone who can put it out there with your question, just throw us a bone and let us know what was most helpful for you in the call tonight.
Obviously, I always need to be reminded to stop and be more aware of the other person. And I get all excited, like you were saying, I'm getting better. Just kind of calm down and listen to them rather than, oh my God, I'm so excited. Because I am so excited. But, and some people are drawn to that.
Yeah.
And others just want to talk about what they're doing and what they've tried. And that's much harder for me to tone it down, so that's very helpful. I should make the calls more often because they're always helpful, always.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for your feedback. That's great. Anybody else?
Well, I wrote down something that really resonated with me. Even though I've improved on it, I know I can improve more. Never lead with myself or take shape for life, and really just be interested in them and ask a lot of questions. I can get that reminder every day.
That's great. That's great. Anybody on the phone calls want to make a comment or ask a question?
Julie, I had one more question.
Uh-huh.
Unless somebody else wants to jump in for me.
Go ahead.
Okay. If we had a couple of clients thinking about health coaching, would a call like this be okay for them to join at some point, or would we? Because I think they would love stuff like this, but I don't want to include them unless it would be appropriate.
Well, it would depend on your relationship with them and where they're at. So if they're just somebody brand new and you hardly know them, it probably would not be the arena. But if you've been, if you're in a relationship with them, this phone call is a relationship phone call. This is us building a community and showing people how fun and easy this is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the call. I'm going to stop the recording. And you guys, I just am tickled to be in partnership with you all. And we love you all very much. And we're going to actually do probably a impromptu maybe next week or something like that. Just a night where if anybody wants to come over and do some coach training, we might have a little gathering like that. Because I know that at the Saturday event, we really don't get a lot of one-on-one time, but I'm kind of thinking maybe next Wednesday night, and we'll just do the call from here. That'd be fun. Anyway, okay, so good night, everybody, and let's go out there and make some friends. Good night.
Thank you.